Okay, so this is the help video for Access Chapter 7. Prepare Case A. We're starting with step number 5. Step 5 and 6 go together, and what we're looking at now is the use of continuing to explore the use of the total row to get aggregate functions, aggregate calculations, if you will. So when you're building a total row and you want to limit, you can use the where clause to limit the results of your query by specifying a specific criteria without that using that field to group mathematically. Okay, so what we're going to do is use it on the type, which is a field that we want not to do a group. We don't want to do a aggregate function, sum or count or anything like that. What we want to use type for is to limit which records are being included in the aggregate. And so that's what we want to do with the where clause. So I brought your ebook up, and I really wanted, on 395 of your book, there's this paragraph about, well, when do you use the where clause? And I think that's a struggle when you're first learning it. But this statement right here, generally you want to use, now this is generally, it's not absolute, right? But most of the time, you use the where clause on a field that is needed to define the criteria, but you don't want to display in the results. So let's do it and see what happens. So create in Query Design, schedule and service. So far we're good. We see a line between them. There's a relationship between this data. So we want to bring schedule, service and fee and type. So if I run that now, I get the service, the fee, and the type. Okay. I get things multiple times, right? Because the service has been used multiple times. But that's not what I want to get. I want to get a total fees brought in by a service, right? And I only care about wax, things that include waxing, because that's what this is about. How much money are we getting from waxing? So I see the data here now, and I understand what I want to do is I want to group this. So I only see one line that says lip wax, and I want a total here. And I don't want to see any of this other stuff that has to do with other things other than waxing. So I don't even want to see this. I just want to use it to qualify. So when I put in my total row, I'm grouping by service. I am doing the sum on fee, and then for type is where I'm qualifying it. So I'm going to come down here and do where, and then so we're really done with 5, and we really need to scoot to 6 because we want to finish this so we can run it. So we're going to enter a criterion in the type field, so if only wax, right? So we know, I don't know where wax is going to appear, so I know I'm going to do something like asterisk wax asterisk, right? Because somewhere in that service is going to have the word wax. I don't know if it's at the beginning, I don't know if it's at the end, it's just got to be in there somewhere, and that's what this asterisk wax asterisk does. So notice when I do this, this little check mark goes away. And now if I run it, I get the two services that R for waxing, and I get the total. I don't see lip wax, lip wax, lip wax, right? I just see at one time and the total amount that is brought in by that. Rename fee field as revenue. Okay, so we got to go back to our design. And what are we doing? Rename fee. So I'm going to zoom so we can see it. I'm at the beginning. I type revenue, colon. Because remember, that's how I rename something. I just put it in front and I put a colon. So now if I run it, it says revenue. I'm going to just auto-fit. And I'm going to save it. It's going to be QRY, revenue for wax services. Okay. So we're done with 6 too also. All right. We're going to do another query similar. So 7 and 8 and 9 all go together. So we're going to work through that. Okay, so we're going to start with query number 7 that goes with 8 and 9. So what we're going to do is create a query that calculates net revenue for a specific spa service. And it's going to give us further practice in using the aggregate row, the total row, and the where clause. So the way that this is going to begin is we're going to put in our tables, which is schedule and revenue. No, sorry, schedule and service. And before we bring any fields down, we're going to do a calculation. So in this first blank, I'm going to zoom so I can calculate. So we want to do a new calculated field named net revenue. So net space revenue. Of course, you know my feeling on putting that space, but that's the way the instructions are doing it. So put it there. I recommend keeping them together when you're doing this in the real world. Colon. Okay, so then that subtracts 38% from the fee. So we're going to say fee minus, times, 1 minus, if I can type, point, okay, hold on, 1 minus 0.38. So the fee times itself minus, so 1 minus 0.38 is going to give us, you know, how much is left, right? So multiply fee times that to get our net. So let's see if it works. Okay. But we have no context for that. So that subtracts 38% from the fee. Okay. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's see. Oh, we want to format that as currency. So we're going to come up here to property sheet. Sorry. Let's run it. Make sure it's not. It is not. So we're on here. My property sheet's off the screen. Format, currency, and run it. There we go. There's our money. Okay, so that's how much would be deducted from the fee. All right, so then we want fee type. So fee and type. Right, so if I run that, there's a little bit of context. So here's the fee, here's 38% from that fee, right? Profit, if you will. So let's go back. rename fee as gross. So I'm here. I'm going to go in the front of it, and we're going to put gross revenue, right? So that's the money just coming in. This is the money coming in. This is how much you make from each of these lines, right? But once again, we're talking about aggregates, so I don't want to see each transaction. I just want to see, for body massages, what was our gross, what was our net from that service type. So in order to do that, we have to put that total row in, right? And then we're going to group by this. We're going to sum, we're summing this. We're getting a total of that. We're getting a total of that where, and then body massage. So down here, we're going to type body massage and run it. So now we're just getting the gross for body massage and the net for body massage. And looking ahead, guys, look, let's see. Let me undo that. Hold on. Sorry. I took it out of there. So if we're thinking about this long term, this is what we want to put in here because that's what we say. But what if we just put a prompt in here, enter service, and I run it? Look, now I could say body massage this time. I get that number. I could run it again and I could say waxing, and I get those. So it makes it more flexible. So this is something that we've done in the past, right? The parameter query. So just thinking ahead, instead of making this very specific to body massage, make sure I didn't mess it up, we could make it more flexible, right? So start combining the things that we're learning. So QRY net rev for body massages, and of course we would change the name if we made this a parameter query. All right, so we're done with that one, and we're going to close it. And so really we took care of 7, 8, and 9. And we'll pick up the next movie with step number 10. All right, thank you.